All right. So let's go over the bell ringer now. Is I totally forgot to put it up. There we go. All right. So first part of bell ringer 22. Why were anti-imperialists like Mark Twain against the United States takeover of the Philippines? What did they think imperialism is a broad idea, but specifically to take over the Philippines? What did it go against? Edie. The Declaration of Independence. The ideas of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Because what was going to make the Philippines happy in this situation? What did they want? Freedom. And we were unwilling to give that to them. So it was very hypocritical. So anti-imperialists like Mark Twain were very much against imperialism because it went against the values of the United States. Okay, very good. Now, next one. What is the idea of big stick diplomacy, and why was the United States so confident in using this threat of force? Yes, sir.
It's like a military force, and we were so confident because our military was like strong.
Yes, we were so confident because our military was so strong. It's using a threat of military force, right? But the other part of big stick diplomacy, and I'm going to come back for the second half of your response in a second, is yes, you use that potential threat. We carry our big stick, but what are we also doing simultaneously? Like, yes, we show a threat of force, but when we're talking with other countries, we're also doing what?
I explain it as you make a threat with a smiling face.
Okay, you make a threat with a smiling face. So it's like you're still trying to sit down and have this conversation with them. You're still trying to be diplomatic, but at the same time, and find a peaceful resolution. We want peace. But at the same time, we got our big stick on our shoulder. And you said, Jackson so correctly noted that we were very confident in using our military because of what war that we had dominated. We had dominated who? Spain. Very good. Sorry, Jackson took the word out of Carmen's mouth. But that is correct. We had just dominated Spain. How long did that war last? Lose. 10. 10. Oh, man, she got it back from me right there. But it was 10 weeks. Okay? So big stick diplomacy is the idea that we would use the threat of force to get what we want, but we're still trying to peacefully use diplomacy in dealing with other countries. Does anyone have a question about that? Now, we have to talk about how we got Panama for the canal. And first, sorry, I'm used to changing it from over there. This is a big misconception we got to clear up right now. How many of y'all have heard or been to Panama City Beach, Florida? Okay? What do y'all like to do there? Or if you've been?
Get the water.
Don't go to the beach, but go everywhere else around, like at Panama City.
All right, so you're not a beach person, but you are. You like it? You hate the beach. See, I love the beach. You like fishing, Alessia?
Not really. Well, fishing.
Okay, that's something you could do. Yeah.
Surf.
Surf? I'm not coordinated enough to surf. Carmen?
I sit on the beach.
I like to do that too, or I'm an old man. I like to go for walks on the beach. But Panama City Beach, listen, the Panama Canal, we are not talking about a canal going through Panama City Beach, Florida. What other place in our world also has the name Panama?
Panama Canal.
It's a country. Very good. And that's where the Panama Canal is at. Sorry, I keep going over to change over here. They're both right. So, United States and Panama. Okay?
In red or in white?
Oh, you don't have to write any of this down. And for those of you listening, you only have to write the red words. Okay? The red words. Now, tell me, where is Panama located in the Western Hemisphere? So, walk with me. Talk with me. As we go back to this lovely map I've drawn on the board in the back. Now, you guys don't see it because I had to erase it for all the directions for you guys. Mr. Holder, could you hold this just where they can see? All right. Now, this lovely map of North and South America. So y'all tell me, roughly where is Panama on this map?
Probably where the red mark is. It's in the middle.
Am I warm?
It's the connection. It's the connection.
Yeah, there's old Panama. Panama, we'll be back. This is Hudson. All right. Now, we will be back there in a minute. So, that's where Panama is located. It's roughly in between North and South America. And this is how Panama is. does anybody know what geographical term it's called? But it's a very narrow strip of land between two oceans. Because like here's the Atlantic and here's the Pacific. Starts with an I. I will be
Island.
super impressed. No, and isthmus. It's an isthmus, like Christmas, but without the cr. So isthmus. It's isthmus. All right, but what did we want out of Panama? That's what we're finding out today. Okay. Now, so you don't have to write any of this down. There's the mouse. You do not have to write any of this down. But, okay, so the isthmus, there's your vocab word. It's a narrow strip of land with sea on either side. The United States had long been interested in Panama. In 1850, the United States had built a railroad across the Isthmus of Panama. And then in 1879, the French had tried to build a canal, but this was an epic failure. So, why on earth the canal? Well, why is the canal so important? So let's say, we're coming back now. Here we go. Okay, hold that. Thank you, Hudson. He does great work. So you have New York City, way up here. Let's see, can we see that? Yes, on the East Coast. Okay, there's Los Angeles in California, way over here on the West Coast. Imagine the Panama Canal is not here. What are our options if we're wanting to use a ship to get it all the way from New York City to LA? Trenton, what do we have to do? Where do we have to go? We have to go all the way around South America. All right, so you got to go all the way around town, all the way up here. Now, all right, what's your other option?
But it makes more sense to just go direct.
You could go up top,
No.
But it's ice.
but it's ice.
Why do you need to do water?
Well, if you had to do water.
Do the street. Like,
If-
just change to it.
And some companies did do that. That's why we had like the railroad and
Because,
stuff. But
like-
some people, like there were bigger stuff they wanted like on ships, especially if it was like a trans continental shipment. But look at this. So that's Route 1, right? Actually, I'll be right back. Let me get another one. So that's Route 1 is the red. Back, Speedy. All right. Now look at the blue. This is the route from New York City. We go. Let's say hi to Cuba. Hi, Cuba. And then we go through the Panama Canal. And look at the difference in those two routes. Yes, it's actually more than half. It's almost a third of, not more, but less of a distance between Route 1 and Route 2. And I have a slide that shows that as well. Okay?
I forget what I'm.
Now,
Your bat is.
so you do not have to, I know. So, you do not have to write this down, but the United States used to be Panama used to be a part of the country of Colombia. Okay? And like I said, France had tried to build the Panama Canal before. It did not work.
Is it not a district of Columbia?
Huh?
Is it not the district of Columbia, or is that?
No, that's Washington, D.C. Colombia, we're talking about a country in South America. So, we approach the Colombians and we talk about building a canal. Okay, we offer them $10 million to build a canal through Panama, but ultimately it's rejected because the Colombian government gets a little greedy. They want like $20 million for it. We're only willing to give them 10. But you look at this map. This used to be Colombia's whole empire in northern South America. Here's Panama just chilling. Okay, but Panama used to be a part of Colombia. Now, so how does this big stick come into play? Well, so Colombia, this is what you need to write. Colombia has rejected the proposal for the canal. Okay? They have rejected the proposal for the canal, so the United States decides to help to engineer or lead a revolution in Panama. Because at this time, Panama, like I said, is trying to gain independence from Colombia. So the United States, Teddy Roosevelt is president at the time, and Teddy Roosevelt decided to send gosh darn battleships down by Panama. One on the Atlantic coast and one on the Pacific coast. Okay? Now, back to our trusty map. Okay? So, thank you, Hudson. United States, here's Panama. We send 2 warships down here. Okay? Send 2 warships down into Panama to prevent the Colombian troops from coming in. Lean it up a little bit more. There we go. All right. So Colombia is on this area, right? They cannot attack Panama or go to stop Panama from trying to break away from the sea, right? Because the U.S. warships are there. So what is their only option to do? What's the only way that they can get to Panama? They can't get there by the ocean, so look at the map real quick. What's their only option to go through where? Y'all are overthinking this. They can't go by the sea, so they have to go over land. Okay? Now, South America, what's the landscape of South America like in this region of the world? What? All right, like maybe mountainous a little
Jungles.
bit. Very much jungle-like, very tropical. So if I'm Colombia, do I want to send troops up through these jungles and the rainforest? And no, because malaria is also a problem.
Lions and tigers and bears and lions.
And also, when the United States sends these ships, if I'm Colombia, do I want to mess with the United States of America? Probably not. Because we're still carrying our big stick, right, Jackson? This is 5 years after the end of the Spanish-American War. And it's like, if I'm Colombia, I'm like, they kicked Spain's tail in 10 weeks. Maybe we shouldn't want to escalate into something with the United States. So this is big stick diplomacy. We didn't directly use force. We just sent our battleships down there. Just in case. It's like, if you're filling up to an invasion of Panama, just know like you'll have a United States warship to go through if you decide to come by the sea. And so because of this, because of the United States sending these warships to help prevent Colombia from stopping Panama's independence, the country of Panama is created. Okay? Does anybody have a question about that? So who did we help Panama get independence from? What country?
Spain.
Colombia.
Oh,
Colombia. All right. Are we good?
Oh, worship.
Can I move on? Good. And any that y'all don't get, I will go back to because this is all we're doing. So again, this reiterates that point. And if you didn't see it on the board because maybe Hudson had bad camera skills and we didn't see all the lovely angles, I'm joking. He did a good
It's a little
job.
bit over a third.
All right. What'd you say?
It's a little bit over a third.
Yes. Because look, before the canal, you had to go all the way around South America. 2,100 kilometers, which we're behind on the metric system here. How much is 2,100 kilometers roughly? Do y'all know? Yep. And miles. How many miles is that? 2,100 kilometers. Or 21,000 kilometers, sorry.
500,000.
What?
500,000. Nah, it's like that.
Huh?
Nah,
It
it's
should
like
be like half.
Half? Okay, so let's just do a half estimate. Let's say it's 10,000 miles compared to 4,000
A
miles.
mile's only 3 kilometers.
What a difference that makes.
Hold on.
Okay? All right, so the Panama Canal was huge because of how much it shortened the shipping of goods.
miles like
13,048 miles.
Yeah, and then how much of a kilometer did you say? Like 0.62? Because a
13,000.
5K is 3.1 miles.
13,000. Hold on. 13,048 miles.
Okay, 13,000 miles compared to probably what, about 4, something like that. So huge difference. Okay, between the route where we had to go all the way around South America to the route we can now go with the Panama Canal. So in 1903, we helped Panama get their independence. We do guarantee Panama their independence, but it's kind of like a deal we had with Cuba. Okay, Panama has their independence, but they are still subject to a lot of American control. Because the United States, through this treaty between the United States and the newly formed country of Panama, the United States gets exclusive control of the Panama Canal Zone. Now, what does this word mean? If we had exclusive control, what does this mean? Exclusive. Only the U.S. had it. Yes. You mean Panama didn't have control over their own canal? That's right. The United States had total and absolute control of the Panama Canal Zone. Now, did anybody notice how I just used a past tense verb there? Had.
So we don't anymore.
We do not have control of the Panama Canal anymore.
That's good.
We finally gave it back to Panama, and I'll show you on the next slide after you finish writing this down. We gave control of Panama, the Panama Canal, back to the Panamanian government on December 31st, 1999. So it took 96 years for us to hand the reins of the canal to the Panama government, but we finally did it on the last day of the 20th century. It ended up in 1999. That actually, it was part of an agreement that had been reached about 20 years earlier under President Jimmy Carter during the 1970s. Okay, are we good to move on? Good. Wait. Sorry. But BA students so far, I hope you all have had an awesome day. All right. We're gonna skip that. Skip that. So, like I said, we'll just go through this real quick. Who has control now? The Panama government has control, and because the United States gave up the Panama Canal Zone to Panama on December 31st, 1999. Huge for Panama's economy to this day. Look at them, so happy. Huge for Panama's economy to this day. Because you look at this, in 2021 alone, the Panama government made $3 billion off the amount of traffic that went through the canal. So a huge moneymaker for them in their economy, because you look at their country, they're pretty small in size. So this is a big part of their commerce and their revenue. And look at this, over 1 million ships have used the canal in its history. If you ever wonder how the Panama Canal came to be, it all started with the big stick. Diplomacy. All right. Does anybody have a question about that?
No.
Are we good?
Yes.
So, just to reiterate, why were we so interested in Panama? What did we want to build across Panama? What do we want to build across Panama? The canal.
Oh, I was right.
And Bailey, why was the canal so important? Like, if we want to ship something from the East Coast of the U.S. to the West Coast of the United States, why do we want the canal so badly? What would it do?
Get rid of it.
It
would lessen the cost of gas, lessen the cost of having to transport goods over.
It would lessen the cost of transporting stuff. It would cut down the amount of time used and distance to transport things. Okay? So, Panama used to be a part of which country? What country? Colombia. Very good. When Panama tried to break away from Colombia and get their independence, what did we do to help Panama break away? What did we send down to Panama? What did we send? We used the big stick. We used to throw a show of force. What did we send down to Panama? Anybody? The military. We used the ships, okay, to prevent the Colombians from stopping Panama's independence. Panama gets their independence, but what do we get control of?
The canal.
The canal.
Until 1999.
Until 1999, whenever
was in
we
1999?
relinquished. That was when we gave the control back. All right. Thank you, guys. Have a great rest of your day. You will complete the study guide after, and then hopefully the GIMP kit's working, and y'all will be able to do that. Have a great Thanksgiving break.